dedicated to those who still don't understand. Good afternoon. Could you introduce yourselves, please? Dmitry Gromov, a writer. Oleg Ladozhensky, a writer too. Pleased to meet you. Are you deputies of the city council? No, we aren't. Do you know what is happening in Gorky Park at the moment? Of course we do. Today is May the 28th. We most certainly do. I think the whole city knows about it. What is your attitude towards this event? On the one hand, Kharkov needs new roads. There is a traffic problem, but on the other hand, as for me, this problem must be solved in a different way, not by cutting trees, in particular in Gorky Park and in the area adjacent to Lesser Park, Woodland Park. Especially as many of my friends motorists, I don't have a car myself, those who drive around the city all the time, say that this highway will not solve the problem of congestion in the city center. So I think it's totally wrong. I'm not ready to discuss the lawfulness of these actions because I haven't seen the documents. I don't know much about it. But I realize that I will have to breathe just like all the others. We have been breathing for a long time, we're used to it. However, it's getting more and more difficult to breathe in Kharkov. In summer, during a heat wave, you can't walk along certain streets where trees have disappeared. It's difficult to get to the end of those streets without having a heart attack. Of course, I understand that neither our authorities nor members of the opposition walk. They drive expensive cars. I, however, sometimes have to walk, which is getting more difficult, and it will be much worse if Gorky Park disappears. As there will be private property along this road, they will build some infrastructure. Supermarkets, some stores, parking lots will certainly be built there. It has always been like that here. We haven't had another scenario yet. It's getting difficult to breathe. I'm very, very sorry for the wood.
I personally support this decision because Kharkiv has a population of more than 1 million, so there are traffic jams. According to Kernes, they will plant another recreational park in a different place in Kharkiv. I'm for it, and all those fights are rubbish. They blame the police, but the policemen have been doing their jobs. They have to disperse the crowd. They put up those tents for lack of anything better to do.
On May 19th, the city executive committee made a decision to build this road. This decision wasn't approved by any other government body. Even though they didn't have any documents, they started cutting down trees having only the city executive committee's decision, which is illegal. Then they brought the police. On Tuesday, up to 100 policemen tried to drive us out. After the police, there were bandits who tried to disperse us to the children railway crossing. But they didn't manage to. The people held out anyway. Today they sent municipal security men here, who dispersed the people at one go, but we managed to, so to say, consolidate our position only in this forest. We're sitting here, it's evening. I hope there won't be any more provocations, but it's still doubtful, because the opponent will go any lengths to win a victory. How many trees have already been cut down? They were to cut 503 trees according to the decision of the city executive committee, but they have already felled around 620, 650 because of the report drawn up as early as Sunday showed that 576 trees had been cut. After that, they must have already cut down 50 more trees.
What's your attitude? Negative, of course. So in your opinion, they mustn't cut woods? Definitely not. I think they mustn't do it as there's already almost nowhere for children to walk. There's dust, air pollution, and all the rest.
It's difficult to agree with it. That's why this idea has stirred up such a protest. In my opinion, it's totally justified. All the more so, it was completely illegal. Why? Because there is a law about building, the latest amendments to which were added last year. It gives a carefully described procedure of how to hold public hearings on these matters, about relocating land intended for building without affecting the interests of the local community. None of this has been done. I don't know if there has been any government expertise of these projects. As for me, there are well-grounded reasons to doubt the lawfulness of these actions. This has influenced the protesters even more, so they decided not to allow the trees to be cut down. The unlawful acts have caused righteous indignation. That is how I would describe it. This must not be done. If there are plans like that, they must talk things over with people. I, for one, think that they are wrong to do it. If they were hearings, I would like to express my opinion as the city council, convince them that it must not be done because Gorky Park is a favorite recreational area of the residents of Kharkov. There are lots of old trees there. Cutting them down like that is barbarity.
We are against it. Young people are against it. Thanks.
I've heard of it. My attitude towards it is very negative. I'm against it. They mustn't do it. That's my personal opinion. What is the mood of the people in the camp like? We're determined to hold out at all costs to the last man. The authorities, as usual, decide everything by arbitrary rule because they don't know how to do it in a different way. Do you think it's possible to stop the cutting of trees? I'd like to believe so.